replaced new distributor O-ring but oil still leaks. Remove ignition leads. Disconnect power plug. Disconnect ground wire. Remove 2 distributor cap bolts. Honda has designed 2 oil drain holes for the distributor. One oil drain hole is at the cap. This is the oil drain hole inside the cap. This is the drain hole outside the cap. Very important to take a photo of your rotor position. Do not follow mine. You need to install your distributor by the same direction as you remove it. Now use a thin marker to draw 3 sharp lines at the top. Then tape a masking tape on top of it and also draw 3 lines. This is the purpose to avoid erasing the marks when you do the housing cleaning. Use a sharp cutter to cut the masking tape. Remove 3 bolts. Pull out the distributor without turning the rotor. Carefully turn around the distributor to take a picture of the key position. Do not follow mine. You need to install your key by the same direction as you remove it. This is the second oil drain hole. This is designed for oil to leaks when oil seal is failed to avoid oil flood inside. This O-ring is for blocking water to get in only. You don't need to use RTV on it. Take the distributor to your local bearing shop and you can buy the right size O-ring easily. Remove the ground wire. Remove the rotor. Remove the O-ring. Remove the key ring. Remove the key. Don't lose 2 metal washers. Remove 4 screws.
Nani?
Remove the power plug. Remove the shaft. Remove the bearing holder. Remove the oil seal and bearing. Use a M6 long bolt to tap the tunnel out. Bearing and oil seal are out. Clean the housing by degreaser. Don't lose these 2 rubber caps. Keep degreaser away from the masking tape. Important to keep it dry.
A few moments later.
The flat side of tunnel goes into the housing. The round side stays outside the housing. Make sure the tunnel is completely flat with this surface. Use the M6 long bolt to tap in. Use a 12mm deep socket to tap it flat if you over tapping in. This is flat. This tool is very soft. It can clean the parts nicely without any damage. But remember, don't spin on wires. Only use this to clean the electronic parts. This dry extremely fast. Buy new oil seal from your local bearing shop, NOC BH3888E. Install by this size facing up. Use 14mm deep socket to tap. Make sure it sits completely flat. Buy the bearing from local bearing shop. Part number NTN6201LLU12.5. This is another bearing that I bought. They look very much the same size, but it is loose. This has not much play. The OEM bearing also has not much play. Buy the right part. Install the bearing and holder. Don't forget these two caps. Install the shaft. Install two metal washers and the key temporarily. Install two screws but leave it a bit loose. Adjust the TDC rotor gap in between 0.4mm to 0.7mm. I use 0.406mm. Tighten two screws. Check again with the feeler gauge. A bit of drags is perfect. Now test with a bigger size feeler gauge. I use 0.61mm. It doesn't fit. That means the gap is in between 0.4mm to 0.7mm. We are good to go. Now adjust the crank rotor gap in between 0.4mm to 0.6mm. Also using the 0.406mm feeler gauge. Tighten two screws. Check again with the gauge. A bit of drags is perfect. Now use 0.584mm to test. It doesn't fit. Gap is in between 0.4mm to 0.6mm. We are good to go. Double check it spins freely. Make sure 4 screws are tight. Install the plug. Install the O-ring. Install the rotor. Remove the key. Follow your own photo record to turn the rotor to the same angle. Also follow your own photo direction record to install the key. Install the key pin and key ring. Keep the gap on the side. Smaller O-ring is too thick, it doesn't fit in the engine. Bigger O-ring is thinner and fits perfectly into the engine. Take your distributor to your local bearing shop to buy the perfect size O-ring. Install the ground wire. Ready to install. Follow your own photo of the direction record to install. Do not follow mine. Match the marks. Install 3 bolts but leave a bit loose to adjust the angle of distributor. Remove masking tape and match the marks underneath. Tighten 3 bolts to 22 Newton meters. Install 2 cap bolts. Don't over tighten. Connect ground wire. Plug in the power plug. Plug in ignition leads correctly. RPM is good level. Done. Prelude.